Can The Rock become the WWE Champion in 2025? We're just laying out some fantasy booking scenarios here if you smell what we're fantasy booking. Yeah, it may be a nightmare scenario for some fans, but let's just jump into it. It was an interesting 2024 for this man. I think you know who he is. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the final boss, the people's champ, a real-life member of WWE's TKO corporate board. When last we saw Rocky, he took a break from his busy schedule making Christmas movies and marketing the animated Moana 2 from Disney to come out and surprise fans, along with Roman Reigns and WWE Champion Cody Rhodes at the end of the Bad Blood Premium Live event. He walked out, he gestured cryptically, and the show went off the air. Ooh, mysterious. Consider our collective eyebrows raised. What could this all mean? Well, we think WWE could be lining up the Great One for another reign as WWE Champion. And this is just a theory. How? Why? What are you talking about? Well, sit back, relax, we'll lay the whole thing out here. This is Sportskeeda Wrestling, and today we're just wondering, if The Rock will be the WWE Champion in 2025. We begin in April 2024 at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia, the biggest wrestling show of the year, a huge showdown. On night 2, Cody Rhodes finished the story and brought home the WWE Championship for his family and his beloved father, the legendary Dusty Rhodes. With a little help from Seth Rollins, John Cena, and The Undertaker, it happened, it was special, and Roman Reigns was humbled from his throne yet again. But apparently, this wasn't always the way WWE had in mind for a main event of the show. If rumors were to believe, WWE initially wanted to bring The Rock in not as the final boss, but as a babyface, and tasked with the mission of dethroning Roman Reigns himself in the main event of WrestleMania, sending fans home happy. The fans, however, had other plans and forced WWE's hand in putting their man, their hero, Cody Rhodes, in the main event as he rightfully earned, winning the Royal Rumble. The Rock didn't come out of it too badly, quickly turning heel, rebranding himself, and embracing his detractors as Cody Crybabies, and joining forces with his bloodline family members. He still managed to get a pinfall victory over Cody Rhodes in the main event of Night 1, when he and Roman teamed up to take on Rhodes and Seth Rollins. He even got his own People's Championship belt on behalf of Muhammad Ali at the WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony. But tag team victories and unofficial title championships will only occupy the Great One's ego for just a little while. Eventually, he's going to come back to the ring and he's going to want the real thing, something he declared on the night after Cody's big WrestleMania victory on Raw. Now, regardless of his cryptic message to Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns at Bad Blood and what exactly it means, it's not absurd to say that Rocky's 2025 may lead him to the WWE Championship scene, possibly as soon as the main event of WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah, this is all still hypothetical fantasy booking, theorizing, speculation. Yeah, file it under that. But exactly how would you get there? Rocky could certainly enter and win the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match, which would automatically put him in the main event of WrestleMania. Some have even theorized that he referenced this somehow when he made that hard-to-explain gesture at Bad Blood. Yeah, we're really reaching and cooking up the theories. If you smell what we're fantasy booking here, could you imagine the pop for a surprise bittersweet pill of The Rock giving himself the sweetheart number 30 spot in the Rumble and coming out to win it from maybe someone who's been in there much longer and has fought much harder? Still, we hear some of you claiming it would be a waste of a Royal Rumble match victory. Given The Rock is a highly, highly powerful person, not just in all of entertainment, but certainly in WWE, he has the power to show up on the Netflix Raw episode launch or in that period and put himself in the main event of any show, including WrestleMania, if he wants to, even as early as the New Year's debut. And if you think it's too early, just remember he booked himself in the main event of a WrestleMania 28, a year in advance with John Cena. The Rock will just be doing Rock stuff sometimes. Yeah, this could all fall apart because The Rock is also one of the most famous people on the planet, and he gets quite busy being a movie star and media mogul. The Royal Rumble match victory could instead be used to build a challenger for the World Heavyweight Championship. Plus, The Rock simply inserting himself into the main event of WrestleMania using his corporate power would add, just so much to his heelish heat aura. Aura. That's a word you guys are really overusing recently on the internet. There are many on the WWE roster who could carry the WWE Championship into this match. Roman Reigns, John Cena, CM Punk, just to name a few, but we think it makes the most sense that the current WWE Champion at this time of the writing, yes, as we record this, is the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. He could be the people's opponent to the no longer legitimate people's champion. So The Rock shows up on the Raw Netflix debut, brings up the Cody crybabies, and addresses them directly. He tells them it doesn't matter what they say this year, he's going to be in the main event of WrestleMania whether they like it or not. So he wants to destroy their hero in front of them and take his prize that he has wanted so badly. Cody would play the underdog babyface in the angle, eloquently and intensely standing up to the final boss and his shenanigans at every turn, stating that he hasn't been the WWE Champion for a year to get steamrolled by a part-timer on the biggest show of the year and get bullied by someone who isn't nearly as committed to the craft of professional wrestling as he is. You could even bring in Roman Reigns involved at some level, potentially taking issue with The Rock's plan to come in and take the title by proxy, his spot from the previous year. You could come to Cody's aid with Roman Reigns, as no doubt The Rock would enlist some help as well. And if they really wanted to add a shock, they could turn Roman Reigns heel on Cody after getting involved in the main event, pretending to help the grandson of a plumber before shockingly switching sides. Blood is thicker than water after all. Whatever WWE chooses to do, The Rock walking away from the showdown of shows as WWE Champion, though it would aggravate people, would be something that would really move the needle, and he should win via devious, despicable, dishonorable means. The biggest movie star in the world, yes, concocts a plan and sleazes his way out of Sin City's WrestleMania with the WWE Championship. He should screw Cody completely out of the title and stand tall as if he's beaten him clean when we all know he didn't. It would get boos at the same level of Triple H versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 32 or Goldberg versus Brock at WrestleMania 20. Expect this time the actual desired outcome is those boos. That's right, WWE has built up more than enough fan sentiment to end a WrestleMania on maybe not a fan happy babyface triumph moment. It would also create new paths for Cody Rhodes to have a fresh narrative point of view. The American Nightmare could go on a rabid revenge mission to reclaim his title from Rock and have a 2012 kind of John Cena-esque personality crisis, or turn slightly bad out of sheer bitterness for the situation in general. Homelander Rhodes in WWE, anyone? There are a lot of options here, and that's what we're saying. It creates options. The great one's run with the WWE Championship should be something like Brock Lesnar with the Universal title in the late 2010s, sparingly used on TV, which won't be hard given The Rock's acting schedule. He should enlist the help of the new bloodline during this time, who could act as both lackeys and enforcers to maintain his character's presence on the show when he's not actually there. He could entice them with the guilt of family loyalty and with the promise of bigger opportunities for them, both financially and as performers. After all, why wouldn't they take that offer? But when he does make his TV appearances, it should always mean something in terms of moving the story forward. This will make even more use of The Rock's star power and mainstream appeal. Whenever he appears, it should mean something, and it should be a big deal. He should do impactful, important things with significant people and raise their stock when they're in the ring with him, even just talking on the microphone. When he defends this title in this hypothetical scenario, it will be sparingly, and who he gets to do it with is going to be very specific. John Cena would be a great opponent for this hypothetical champion of The Rock during this run. It'll be his last chance for thrice in a lifetime in terms of a special confrontation between the two magnificently big marquee superstars, and considering that this will be John Cena's retirement tour, it would make it even more special. This should result in a Rock win over Cena, as it's unlikely to see the title on Cena in his retirement tour, though that would be a wild scenario too, and maybe that's a subject for a whole other video. Perhaps some heelish shenanigans from the People's Champion as he successfully retains. Setting up The Rock's next title defense, why don't we look at someone like Randy Orton, who's still very much an active member of the WWE roster and a certified future Hall of Famer. The match would make an ideal main event for SummerSlam, or perhaps Survivor Series, with The Rock once again using nefarious means to find his way out of the match. No longer The Rock of old, he's purely a chicken shiz heel at this point. Seth Rollins would challenge the final boss given their history at WrestleMania 41. Someone like AJ Styles, LA Knight, or even main event Jey Uso could get a shot on some smaller premium live events to get the right circumstances. The Rock could defeat these competitors with or without the help, but it wouldn't be above him to have bloodline backup to sustain how despicable he truly is. Despicable, I say. And if WWE wanted to be really ambitious, they could bring in Logan Paul for a one-shot challenge at the Great One, which The Rock would obviously win. Yeah, Baywatch throwback there. It's important to note that while Rock is off TV as a part-time WWE champion, the World Heavyweight Championship would remain fully active. This would legitimize the championship, lending to its credibility as superstars chase it actively in the main event scene. Fans love a world championship match after all, and they deserve it. Now on to the men who could end The Rock's run with this hypothetical title. CM Punk would be a great option, given that he still holds a grudge against The Rock for upstaging him in 2013, ending his historic WWE Championship reign then and stealing the WrestleMania main event from him, only for it to happen again when Punk returned to WWE in 2023. It would be fitting for the Second City Saint to vanquish the final boss in a WrestleMania main event. For a career-defining moment, he's always sought poetic, almost poetic justice. Roman Reigns would be another fantastic option, given the longest reigning WWE champion of recent times was also upstaged by The Rock with his return. Rock versus Reigns has been in the talks for years. Initially, it was something they wanted to do at WrestleMania 39 in LA, but the plan just fell apart. Rocky's interference didn't benefit Reigns' historic loss at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. You could contest that their match under Bloodline rules would also add some familiar settings to the entire scenario and feature cameos from the Bloodline members of the past and the present, all to decide the true head of the table. This would cement Roman as the defining superstar of his era, if he isn't already that now. And of course, let's not forget about Cody Rhodes, who doubtlessly would love to regain the title from Rock, who screwed him out of it in our hypothetical scenario. Cody finished the story at WrestleMania 40, but now he has a whole new story. Revenge. Righting the injustice of losing the title, avenging the so-called Cody faithful crybabies, defeating the corporate Rock once and for all. For all the trouble that he's caused for Cody Rhodes, Cody's revenge would become The Rock's nightmare. He may even get a handshake from a well-beaten and humbled Dwayne Johnson after the final bell. Any of these matches would be a fitting main event for a WrestleMania card. Does WWE need to do this? No. The Rock is a big enough star to draw attention, whatever he's doing, and a WrestleMania with him on it is special enough as itself, and WrestleMania sort of sells itself every year anyway. However, purely looking at big matches and the big money that would come with them, giving The Rock one more run with the belt seems like it would be a pretty good option to pragmatically exploit Johnson's undeniable star power that we all know clearly beams greatly outside of the WWE universe and obviously is big within it. Whoever defeats him will define their legacy off the back of that win, and every opponent will receive mainstream exposure on a massive scale. Plus, the title will be on the biggest draw the company has, which seems fitting. It would also generate heat like nothing else, giving the fans that have expressed nothing but distaste for part-time world champions, corporate interference, and just overexposed nostalgia acts, while also being an audience that demands a lot of nostalgia acts. Yeah, it would be something that fans would respond to in a visceral way. The Rock has proven in 2024 he knows how to play the hits you love on the microphone and still give you a fresh, ruthless aggression for the present day. Not to mention the spotlight being shifted away from your favorite workhorse superstars of the modern era would certainly upset many people on the internet. When you take all of the real-life frustration and use it to tell a story, you could have the recipe for the ultimate heel world champion. A character that's a mixture of Mr. McMahon and Brock Lesnar with Johnson's otherworldly charisma, a terrifying prospect for the babyfaces on the roster. It's Darth Vader with a sneering grin. Playing into frustrations of fans and the distaste for the greater good of the company, rather than deliberately annoying the fans as part of a spiteful power play, as previously WWE management have done in the past, The Rock would be something different. A corporate boss who can go bell to bell in a very different way. Of course, WWE may have to go in a completely different direction, and probably will, but it's certainly interesting to think about what if, just the what if of the final boss capturing WWE's top championship and putting himself at the head of the table. And there we have it. Do you think we'll see The Rock as WWE champion anytime soon? Is this simply too hypothetical and too outlandish, and maybe we're ridiculous for even presenting this idea? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and if you didn't like this video, it doesn't matter what you think. It does matter what you think. Please, we'd love your feedback.